Good morning, America. Breaking overnight, deadly high-rise fire. Flames tearing through a condo complex in Hawaii.
The stairwell was so full of smoke, you couldn't breathe, you couldn't see.
At least 3 people killed. The question is this morning, what sparked the fire and why were there no sprinklers in the building?
Mystery man. New information this morning about the Russian-American once accused of being a spy in the room when Donald Trump Jr. and other members with the Trump campaign met with a Russian lawyer. All this as President Trump returns home to face more questions about that meeting.
Trouble on the tracks, a train on the move with its car wedged underneath.
What the? Tell to stop! Stop the train!
2 people trapped inside, dragged along the tracks. The praise for a quick-thinking officer this morning.
Just grateful that police officer was that much on the job.
And caught on camera, massive sinkhole. Houses crumble. Houses swallowed up when a giant crater opens up in Florida. One family rushing to safety moments before the ground gave way. The concerns this morning about what could happen next.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Hey, good morning. President Trump is waking up stateside this morning, spending the weekend at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey. There he is overnight, making an appearance alongside his son Eric at the U.S. Women's Open, which is underway at Bedminster itself.
And the president tweeted that he will be right back there today watching the ladies play golf on the links, and much more coming up on the latest questions on Russia and healthcare. But we're going to start with the breaking news out of Hawaii this morning. A deadly fire in a high-rise building not far from legendary Waikiki Beach in Honolulu.
Yeah, this fire coming just weeks after that lethal inferno in London that claimed about 80 lives. Horrifying images such as these broadcast around the world. And this morning in Hawaii, big questions about what started the fire and why there were no sprinklers in that building.
And there are also stories of survival that are pouring in this morning. We're going to be speaking with the mayor of Honolulu in just a moment, but we start here with ABC's Marcy Gonzalez, who has the very latest from our Los Angeles bureau. Marcy, good morning to you.
Paula and Dan, good morning. This morning, some parts of that building are still smoldering. Firefighters putting out flames that rekindled and doing sweeps of that massive building with more than 500 apartments, making sure there are no other victims. Overnight, at least 3 people killed in this 5-alarm apartment fire in Honolulu, just 10 minutes from Waikiki Beach.
Next thing we know, the smoke just billows out. Windows are being broken, glass is flying all over.
Wow, you guys, this is crazy.
The fire breaking out on the 26th floor of the Marco Polo building and spreading. Residents watching as flames and smoke engulfed their homes.
And then it jumped to the 27th floor, and then it jumped to the 28th floor, and that's when I said, I'm out of here.
More than 100 firefighters on scene, evacuating some residents and instructing others to shelter in place.
The stairwell was so full of smoke, you couldn't breathe, you couldn't see. Even the fireman got down on his hands and knees and was huffing and puffing.
12 people injured, 4, including 1 firefighter, transported to nearby hospitals in serious condition.
And I heard 3 or 4 women's voices screaming, constant screaming, just screaming. I mean, it was terrifying.
This fire similar to the deadly inferno that consumed Grenfell Tower in London a month ago, killing about 80 people.
I think we were all feeling nervous, worried, concerned, a little freaked out.
Investigators say this high-rise in Honolulu did not have sprinklers since building codes didn't require them when it was built in 1971. And the fire chief saying had there been sprinklers, the flames likely would have been contained to just 1 apartment. We've reached out to the owners of the building, but they are not commenting. Investigators this morning are still trying to figure out what caused the fire. Dan?
So many questions. Marcy, thank you. Just moments ago, I spoke with the mayor of Honolulu, Kirk Caldwell. Mayor Caldwell, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Let's start with the sprinkler issue. So much concern about the lack of sprinklers in this building. Are there other large buildings in your city that also lack sprinklers, and what can you do about this?
Yes, Dan, there are. Any building that was built prior to 1971 did not have a sprinkler system. It was a high-rise. It was not mandated under our building code. Buildings built since then do have sprinklers. And so the debate that's been going on for a while is whether there be a law should be passed mandating that these older buildings actually put a sprinkler system in it. I think after a fire like this, it's going to add new incentive to look at going back and passing a law requiring that the older buildings be retrofitted.
Let me ask you about the investigation. What is the latest on the investigation into what caused this fire this morning?
We have investigators in the building now on the 26th floor where the 3 people passed away. They're removing the bodies from that floor and bringing them down to the ground level to conduct a further examination. As of this date, they don't know what the cause of the fire was. They don't see any indication of foul play, but they'll be looking at that also. But they have rendered 3 of the floors totally unoccupiable, either due to fire damage, water damage, or smoke damage.
Well, that leads to exactly what I wanted to ask you about. The people who survived but now are homeless, at least temporarily, how are they being taken care of?
So they are just down the street in a private school, and about 50 residents are in that gym tonight. Mayor
Kirk Caldwell, we really appreciate you joining us on what is a difficult morning for your city and for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
As he said, this debate over retrofitting these older buildings with sprinklers is really going to heat up now.
And it's sad that it takes a tragedy for everybody to go back and take another look at that legislation. Thanks, Dan. And we want to move now to politics and President Trump returning to the U.S. after a visit to France. The president giving a very lengthy handshake to French President Emmanuel Macron. 28 seconds, by the way, calling the U.S.-France alliance stronger than ever. They're still shaking hands this morning.
He doesn't want to let go. An unusual alliance there. The president now back home at his estate in New Jersey, dealing with new questions about his son's meeting with that Russian attorney. We're now learning about a growing list of other people who were also in that room.
Meantime, Vice President Mike Pence is meeting with governors around the country, promoting the Senate's revised health care bill, which appears to be hanging by a thread right now. ABC's David Wright is in Bedminster, New Jersey for us this morning. David, good morning.
Good morning, Paula and Dan. You know, the president is hoping for a triumphant weekend here in Bedminster. Fresh from that trip to France, he arrives back just in time for some of the best golfers in the world to play at his club, the U.S. Open Women's Tournament. But his administration is bogged down in the rough over the Russia investigation. As the president stepped off Air Force One from Paris and returned to his clubhouse in New Jersey, his presence in Bedminster isn't the only thing that threatens to upstage the golf. New questions are mounting over his son Don Jr.'s meeting last year with Russians.
My son is a wonderful young man. He took a meeting with a Russian lawyer, not a government lawyer, but a Russian lawyer.
But it turns out it wasn't just that one Russian lawyer, Natalia Veselnitskaya, that Don Jr. and other top campaign aides met with.
I'm more than happy to be transparent about it, and I'm more than happy to cooperate with everyone.
So as far as you know, as far as this incident's concerned, this is all of it?
This is everything.
Despite that pledge of transparency, we've since learned that the meeting also included this man, Renat Akhmetshin, a Russian-American lobbyist once accused of having been a Soviet counterintelligence officer, but who insisted to the Associated Press he was not trained as a spy. He and a translator sitting down at that meeting with Don Jr., son-in-law Jared Kushner, and campaign chair Paul Manafort, as well as Veselnitskaya. Akhmetshin denies having any ties to Russian intelligence. He and Veselnitskaya both insist they were not doing the Kremlin's bidding. But the growing list of attendees will certainly be of interest to the various investigators looking into any and all interactions between the Trump campaign and Russian interests. Former campaign advisor Michael Caputo testified Friday before the House Intelligence Committee.
I had no contact with Russians, and I never heard of anyone in the Trump campaign talking with Russians. I never heard the word Russia, and we did not use Russian dressing.
It is the changing story as much as anything that raises some serious red flags, and that's one big reason why lawmakers on Capitol Hill want Don Jr. to come and testify. Dan, Paula?
That would be quite a moment. All right, David, thank you for your reporting from New Jersey this morning. We want to check in now with ABC News political guru and consultant Matthew Dowd, who joins us from Austin, Texas. Good morning, Matt. So,
good morning.
You know, Russia.
He's just taking in the word guru. That's the look
I am
on
taking
his
in
face.
the word, and I'm also thinking of all those analogies that were used on the golf thing and the previous thing. That was very
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Let's see if you can top that. Yep. We believe in you. You can top that, Matt. But so let's go back to Russia. It continues to be a slow drip, and it's infuriating isolating the president. We saw this week Don Trump Jr., releasing those emails in a move of transparency. But how much different do you think things could be if the administration were able just to get in front of this story?
Well, it was transparency at the point of a New York Times gun. They obviously had the stuff, and it was forced to be transparent. I mean, I think this is a series of, to use an analogy, this is like Mission Impossible meets Rocky and Bullwinkle. I mean, it is unbelievable the number of unforced errors that have been in this. And it's almost as if they've read a book about the bad ideas in communication strategy. It's every single thing they've done has caused this situation to be worse, and I think it's only going to continue to unravel in the days and weeks ahead.
Let's talk about the other major issue facing the president right now. There's this huge push on right now, as you know, to pass the revised health care bill in the Senate. There are already 2 Republican senators who have said no, they're not going to support it. They cannot afford to lose anybody else. So in sum, what are the odds of this thing actually passing?
I think they're low, exceedingly low. I think the meetings they've had with the governors, the only way this could get across the finish line if a series of governors stood up and said we need to have this done. But I would predict one thing. If one more person goes, then 10 people will go. As soon as they cross the line and there's enough senators to say we're not doing this, I think you'll see a whole bunch of other senators follow suit quickly thereafter.
Matt Dowd, our guru, thank you very much. Next time we expect to see you in robes. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
We move on now to some extraordinary moments captured on a police officer's body cam.
You're going to see the startling video in just a moment. A car wedged under a train after a horrific accident, made worse when that train inexplicably begins moving again with that car still attached. Here's ABC's Kenneth Moten.
Stunning video. The heroic and incredible actions of a police officer in Lamarck, Texas, captured on his body camera.
Got at least one inside trapped.
This SUV slammed into the stopped freight train Friday morning near Galveston. The 2 people inside trapped, the vehicle wedged. The officer on the tracks on his hands and knees, desperately trying to reach the injured couple.
I know, buddy. Hold on, we got medics coming.
Suddenly,
what the? Tell them to stop! Stop the train!
the train starts to move.
Call the railroad company, tell them to stop moving. They're dragging this car with people inside.
The engineer unaware of the extra cargo or the rescue efforts, dragging the wreckage. The officer screaming, working to get the attention of the train's operator while trying to calm the driver.
Hold tight, man. We're getting them to stop. We're getting them to stop.
100 yards later, finally, the train stops. The father of the 22-year-old passenger says his daughter is lucky to be alive.
I'm just grateful that police officer was that much on the job. It's a father's nightmare.
Stop the train!
For Good Morning America, Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Dallas.
It's incredible that girl survived.
Yeah.
Turning now to another surreal scene. This one in Florida. A growing sinkhole swallowed 2 homes, and now other homes are in jeopardy this morning.
Those 2 homes you mentioned, they're completely gone. Nobody knows what's going to happen next, and ABC's Victor Akendo has the latest.
Breathtaking video capturing the frightening moments as this Florida home collapses into a sinkhole.
It was really scary. The noises are incredible that you hear, like crashing and booming. Just to see like the devastation happening, it's unreal.
And another home sinking, listen to the walls cracking to the ground. The sinkhole expanding across the street to about 225 feet wide and 50 feet deep, engulfing 2 homes outside Tampa.
There's a sinkhole right next to our neighbor's house, and it's literally eating the house like completely.
9 neighborhood families evacuated, 1 family getting out moments before the ground gave way.
It was so emotional. I started crying and everything. But we got the dogs out and we couldn't save anything else.
Families grabbing what they could as the earth crumbles.
Right now, we're all on that eggshell feeling. We're all wondering what's going to happen next. We can't control this. All I can say is keep praying. There's a lot of people that are anxious right now.
Officials kept a close watch overnight. They say this sinkhole has not moved in the last 14 hours. As for those people who evacuated, they might not be able to get back into their homes until late next week. Dan, Paula?
Incredible just to see the earth basically eat those homes. And Victor, we do want to say welcome to the ABC News family. This is your first time joining us on Weekend GMA, so welcome to the club.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Had a chance to meet him the other day. Great guy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Victor.
A lot of other news this morning, and for that, as always, we kick it over to another great guy, Ron Claiborne. What's happening, man?
Hey, Dan, good morning to you and Paula, Adrian, Robert. Good morning, everyone. We're going to be in overseas in Afghanistan, where the Pentagon is saying that U.S. forces have killed the leader or emir of that country's branch of ISIS, known as ISIS-K. U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis calling the death of Abu Sayed a victory, and in his words, a step in the right direction. Officials say that Sayed was killed in a strike in the Kunar province on Tuesday. Sayed is the third ISIS-K leader killed so far this year. And back here at home in Tulsa, Oklahoma, police officer Betty Shelby, the white police officer accused of the fatal shooting of an unarmed black man last year, has resigned from the police force. Shelby had been placed on desk duty since returning to work. She was acquitted of manslaughter charges in May. Tulsa police have been conducting an internal investigation into the shooting, but say that the investigation's now over now that the officer has left the force. In Brazil, an appellate court has dismissed charges against U.S. Olympic swimmer Ryan Lochte. Lochte, of course, was accused of falsely reporting a crime to police in Brazil during last year's Rio Games after he and 3 other U.S. swimmers claimed that they were robbed at gunpoint. They were caught on camera vandalizing a gas station. Lochte later said he, quote, over-exaggerated the incident. Fiat Chrysler is recalling more than 1.3 million vehicles around the world. There are actually 2 recalls, the first involving vehicles alternators, which could catch fire in several models of the Chrysler 300, the Dodge Challenger, Charger, Durango, and Jeep Grand Cherokee. The second recall is for a wiring problem that could cause the driver's side airbag to mistakenly deploy in Dodge Journeys models from 2011-2015. And this from Michigan, near Ann Arbor, a home surveillance camera capturing a stolen car barreling into a tree. You see it there running over the front lawn of the house in Pittsfield Township. At least 4 people were spotted crawling away from the wreckage and running away. The suspects, they're still being sought in Michigan. And finally, President Bill Clinton, former President Bill Clinton, gets caught peeking between the bushes, literally. Check this out. You see him poking his head there between 2 statues. Those are not the actual presidents. George W. Bush.
Thank you for clarifying,
and
Ron.
his father. Hey, accuracy here. And George H.W. Bush during a visit to the George W. Bush Presidential Center. That's near Dallas, Texas. Clinton's presidency, of course, sandwiched, like you see him there, between the 2 Bushes. Kind of cool. Tells you a lot about American politics, because there was so much. If you go back to that original campaign between Clinton and George H.W. Bush, there was a lot of animosity, tough campaign, but then they became friends.
I think it's so nice to see, considering the tone and tenor of politics these days, they have a genuine, a warm relationship. Almost as warm as our relationship here.
Almost, not quite.
And almost as warm as the weather. Not as warm as the weather.
Hey, look, we're mid-July now. Yeah, well, she's a pro. And very summer-like get up, which is apropos. Mid-July, often the time of year where it's the hottest that it can be. Also, we get some weather that can drop some thunderstorms that have some heavy rain with them.
Take a walk.
Thank you, Ron. And yesterday across Ocean City, Maryland, we had 3 to 4 inches of rain falling in a short amount of time. That got some street flooding going. Some of these storms across the Delmarva Peninsula and our nation's capital, 50, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Today's severe weather threat, by the way, drier air moving into the northeast. But Wisconsin, which had kind of a rough week with some flooding, most of those rivers cresting today. Maybe some severe weather this afternoon, damaging winds, a tornado or 2, and then pop-up thunderstorms across a humid southeast. That's a quick check on what's going on nationally. Here now is your local forecast.
As we kick off the weekend, some cloud cover to start, but PM sunshine definitely looking like a quiet weekend. Temperatures going to be starting out in the mid-70s for many of us, but we will be feeling warmer by this afternoon, but not as humid as the past couple of days. So if you are heading out to the pool today, definitely apply the sunblock. Those feels like temperatures in the upper 80s by the time we head into the afternoon. Overnight tonight, less humid, and we will stay dry. Partly cloudy skies with those temperatures in the low 70s for some.
Softball, golf, tennis, perhaps, whatever you may be doing this afternoon. That's a fine sport.
She always has to go for the random.
Lawn darts.
Lawn darts. Summertime sports. I love it.
All of you are into sports, and I know a lot of people are watching, of course, some of the biggest stars in tennis. Don't call it a comeback, though, for Venus Williams competing in her 20th Wimbledon. It's her first Wimbledon final since 2009, all while that fatal car crash